How's it going? It's Chad Calhagen. In this video, I'm going to be comparing these three acoustic guitars, three completely different styles, but all tuned to the same tuning and have approximately the same gauge of strings on them. The first one, my Thinline double cutaway kind of SG style acoustic guitar. This one is your typical standard acoustic guitar, just kind of middle of the road size and everything. And then finally we have a jumbo acoustic guitar. Now right off the bat, I am going to, in the interest of full disclosure, I mean, there's a major unfair advantage for the Takamine on the end there. That guitar costed hundreds and hundreds more than either one of these two guitars ever even, like, just nowhere near. But at the same time, for what they are, the two lower end guitars actually do have surprisingly decent tone and projection. So this is really not like a which one sounds the best. Like, you know, the Takamine is going to win hands down. I mean, there's no contest as far as that goes, but I feel like it'll just be kind of fun to kind of showcase the differences between the three styles of guitars. Okay, so let's start with the Thinline double cutaway. So unsurprisingly, the Thinline double cutaway, it's got the thinnest sound. You know, much to be considered here. It's, you know, look how thin it is. This literally fits in an electric guitar gig bag. It's so thin. But at the same time, though, there is quite a good amount of projection that you're able to get out of this, especially once you really crank on it. So in my opinion, a Thinline acoustic is not necessarily just to be reserved for plugging in. Now let's step it up a little bit. Let's add quite a bit more width to the body of the guitar here, to the standard acoustic. We're going to have a fuller tone here, a little bit more projection, and let's just check it out. So hopefully the camera is able to pick up like all of the tonal differences here, but essentially, yeah, there's more projection here. This guitar actually happens to be a bit brighter, even though the strings are older. But that's just kind of, you know, luck of the draw as far as the wood that the guitars are made out of. All right, moving on now to the main attraction. We've got this beast of a jumbo guitar here. This thing is just massive, way more width, just way more everything. This is my favorite guitar. This is actually the guitar I wrote the song on that I'm playing. Yeah, this has got the most projection, the best overall well-rounded tone, just more of everything. Now, this one does have a decent amount of low end, but these particular strings are extremely new and still pretty jangly. And this camera is just not capable of picking up all of the tone, especially not from like way back there. But yeah, this is definitely the winner here as far as if you want to just be as loud as possible. Best well-rounded tone, a little of everything. Your standard guitar, this is still not bad. You can still really get a lot of volume out of this. This is a little bit easier to sing over than the jumbo is. Regardless of what kind of wood, you just get a little bit less projection out of it. So my recommendation for anyone who's trying to consider, do I want a jumbo guitar or do I want more of a standard size guitar? If you don't need quite as much projection, just go for a standard guitar, because with the jumbo especially, you really do have to kind of be careful with how much you're digging into those strings when you're trying to sing and be heard over it with no other amplification. All right, and yeah, back to the Thinline. The Thinline is the easiest one to sing over, unsurprisingly, because it has the least amount of projection. It's got a thinner tone and everything. But at the same time, though, if you crank on it too hard, it still can give you a little bit of a problem to try to sing over, which, you know, is not nearly as much of a thing to overcome. And admittedly, I really get aggressive and dig in a lot more than a lot of other people who play guitar. So keeping that in mind, I don't see 90% of people having much of an issue with trying to overcompensate with how loud they're singing while playing a Thinline. Moderate amount of issue with the standard size. Definitely some concern with the jumbo, but with any of them, just keep in mind that you don't want to dig in too hard while you're strumming. If you want to keep it. Hopefully that was an interesting comparison of these three styles of guitars. Thanks for watching. I'll see you around.